Greetings, YouTube. Some of you may remember when I picked up this tool head at a yard sale. I paid $2 for it. And this is designed for working with ice. Now, I bought an ice pick not long ago, and when I bought it, I said if I ever find the other style, which is this right here, I would definitely buy one. And I did, but it doesn't have a shaft. So this is a standard tool handle. It has a little opening in here. It already has a hole. Sorry, there's a cat in the background trying to get in the closet. And what I need here is I need to set this up so that it sits. There's a little shoulder right here. See that little shoulder right there? And I need to set it up so that that shoulder is sitting on the wood itself so that I can drill a hole and then pin it here. So I'm going to need, I want that to be well clear of the collar. And if I leave it like it is, it's not going to be sitting firmly on the wood, and that hole ends up being like right at that collar, which is not good. Because I don't want to glue this in place. This is not a wicked expensive antique tool, but it is an antique, and I would like to treat it with some respect. So I'm going to drill a hole out so I can fit this in and make it snug enough so I can just tap it a smidge. And thankfully that's an oval. And I'm going to drill a hole here, only halfway through, to the hole I've drilled, this way, boonk, and I am going to then put a screw in there to hold it in place and keep it from moving. So the combination of the two will ensure that the head does not, tapping it in gently and putting that screw in place will keep it from coming out of the shaft. So I've got my favorite extension cord, which winds up and stores very neatly, and my angle grinder and my cut-off wheels here. At the moment, the flap wheels on my grinder, and I probably, after I get that cut, I'm going to have to drill out the shaft. I'll probably use my cordless drill because it's easy, and it's actually, I think it may actually have more torque than my corded one. I'm not positive, but it's 18 volt. I actually don't know what power my corded one is. And then we're going to see how this goes. It should be pretty easy, and I may, if I'm feeling ambitious today, rig up my drilling rig, or not. I may just drill it by hand, just because it only has to go halfway through. But we'll see. So first up is going to be taking this outside and cutting off the end of this collar so it's flush with the wooden shaft. So here we are outside, and I have a V-channel here I picked up at a flea market a while back, which I'm using to hold this in place. I have a screw holding this in place because I'm going to be cutting in this direction. I don't want it torquing back towards me while I'm doing that, so that's in there to hold that in place. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut. I don't know if you can see this, a very faint line. It just happens to be a very faint line there. It's probably from the manufacturing, and that's what I'm going to aim for. I'm going to aim on this side of that very faint line. I don't know if you can see it or not. It looks like it's a minor machining mark when they clamped this and rounded this end over. So that's what I'm going to aim for. So the grinder's all set with my cutoff blade, and all I got to do is plug it in, and we're good to go. And remember, when changing blades on your angle grinder, unplug it. That cut really well. Maybe a nice smooth cut. I think I'm not perfectly perpendicular to the shaft, but darn close. It is, however, have some nasty burrs. So I'm going to go get my flap wheel for my grinder out and clean that up a little. It did smoke like a son of a gun. I was actually concerned that I might start a fire with this thing because it was really smoking when it was hitting the wood. But it's exactly where I want it to be as far as that is concerned. So next step is going to be clean this edge up and then get my drill out and find the correct size drill bit I need to start drilling out this hole. I decided, since I already had my power strip out here, I might as well use my quarter drill, and my quarter drill has this nice handle I can put on it. I think I may actually be able to fit that onto my cordless drill, now that I think about it, because it comes off. I'll have to try that. This is a 7-amp drill, so we'll see how well this does it. I have a 5/8 inch bit in there. Now I'm going to try to open that up a little, very, very carefully, so that it comes in and sits on that. The wood goes right to there. I need to drill just probably a smidge beyond that distance. We'll see how measuring goes on this. If things get a little on the loose side for me, I will take out the 5/8 and I will put in a 1/2 inch so that it gets a little snugger down here. So I may only open up the 5/8 to like there. We'll find out. Alrighty, so now we have this hole. So it's just about where I want it. Should be able to tap it in a little bit, and then it'll be exactly where I want it to be. But to achieve this end, not only did I use a 5/8 inch bit, a 1/2 inch bit, this 1/2 inch bit, but that, I don't know what size bit that is. All of them combined, one at a time, to finally get a hole deep enough to get that hole there to be beyond this collar, and it is just barely beyond that collar, which is fine. It doesn't have to be, because I'm going to tap it in. I'm going to drill a hole probably just a millimeter beyond that hole, beyond this flange here, this collar is what it should be called, collar. And then we're going to drill halfway through just till I get to the passage. I'm not going to drill all the way through. So now I have to go find a fastener that's going to be the length I want, and hopefully one I can find that'll be relatively attractive. Well, and to keep this thing from moving, not only did I put a screw on that side, but I screw on that side, and that kept it from moving from side to side, which was required as I drilled, because it started to drift on me like this. So I put 2 in there to secure it. I just don't have the facilities to do this. So I got to tell you, working on this and repeatedly putting this thing in, and then having to like face it while I'm tapping it in, it's a little disconcerting because it's pointed right at my torso. Really don't want to slip and fall on that, man. That would be a very bad day. And but thankfully, I think my tetanus shot's up to date. So I broke out my little brass hammer, which I picked up at a yard sale for $3, I think. And it's the perfect size, and it's not going to mar the iron on this. This is iron, this is not steel. And I used one of my faux hammered bit fasteners, which I love so much because they have a nice look. They're a good length. They're about 3/4 of an inch long, a little less. Could be 5/8. And I got them for free, so you can't beat that. So I drilled a hole. It ended up being just at the rim of the collar, because the drill bit walked just a smidge, but it was okay, because after I tapped it in place and got it in there, it seems to be finished. So now I'm going to take it off and bring it inside and show you what it looks like on the table, and then maybe I'll do a look at me in the mirror with holding the thing, because this project is done. Okay, so here we have it, the completed assembly, and I will now go and show you what it looks like next to me. Alright, so here we have the completed tool/weapon. You can see that it is sitting on the shoulder, as I said. It is slightly off-centered, but it is tapered, and it was not... This whole thing had a slight curve to it to begin with, so I'm going to call that good. You can see that it's about my height, and I'm 5'8" or 5'7" 3/4, 7.5. I think I'm already starting to shrink. And you can see my brand new Santana shirt. And this would make an excellent tool, of course, which is what it's intended to be, a tool. It's an ice pick. It's for moving ice on a lake, for harvesting. And it would work admirably in that regard. However, it would also make a decent weapon. As you can see, it's tapered in 2 directions, so it comes to a nice point, and the pick part is also tapered in 2 directions, so it would make an excellent impact. If you swung this two-handed, that's going to have, right at that point there, is going to have an incredible amount of energy delivered at that point right there. And if you miss a target thrusting it, you can always use it to grab, catch them behind their back or a limb or a leg and try to knock them off balance. So you could like literally build a martial arts style around this weapon, which I think would be kind of cool to see. Something unusual, something not Asian. You could make it, European style. But I think it was kind of cool. I mean, it would be nice if the handle and everything was period, or at least vintage. It's not. I ever stumble upon one, I may buy it, because this is completely, I can completely disassemble this thing, which is why I put it together the way I did. I just take the screw out, tap it with my little brass hammer in the other direction, and we're good to go. And I can change this into another handle if I want to. So there you go, folks. This is my new ice pick spear, which I think is really, really cool, and makes me happy that I've got one of each style in my collection now.